Yes.
Okay, so what we're going to do real quick is we're going to simply talk about what happens when someone comes over your bong. In Chi Sao or any other application, I could be coming from back here. I come in, he catches with the bong because he's thinking he's either going to bring it this way or he's going to bring it over. And then here I go over his bong and in. That's a problem. And this is something we talked about before, the top bong. So, top bong. And also you've seen it where if he comes from a tan and I'm coming in and then he goes to, some guys will go to a bong. So he's going to go to a bong. You drive it up in your own face. That's when you're punching this way, when you drive it up in your own face. But what I'm talking about is when you drive it up in your own face by going to a bong and then I go to a bong. Then you don't just get punched in the face, you get snagged in the throat. So I come here and he catches it this way. If he drives it up into a bong, there's the drive it up in your own face. He managed to make it not a problem. But if I come over and I come over his bong with a bong, and unless he's here, he's not going to be getting me. I'm coming in, and boom, I'm right in his throat. So what you want to do is a couple of things. One is the proper response to that is a Bill Sao hand. So when I come in here, and let's say he's in a tan, don't roll up into a bong. That's what you do. It's like going toward a bong, but it's completely different in that it doesn't make you vulnerable, and then you can follow me back in. It's just like dealing with roundhouses, and I have a couple of videos on roundhouses. But here's the other thing to know. Sounds very quizzical, doesn't it? When I come in to do that and he has a bong up, if he has a bong up, and I collapse like this and he doesn't respond, it's an attack. And you don't realize that when a person collapses in Chi Sao, that this is an attack. It could be where I've just accommodated his bong without him being able to hurt me. And if this goes to sleep at all with his tan, then I simply drive my elbow in and strike, or over this way and strike. So this is leading up to, because that's a little bit different concept, which is watching out when somebody collapses, because if they know what they're doing, then they may use it against you. Just like if you walk up and you're collapsed here, it's very hard to stop me without wrestling. But back to the point, which is if he's in a bong, we're playing Chi Sao, so this is an extension of what we were talking about. He's in the bong and Chi Sao, and I bring my bong over him. That's something you don't want. I'm controlling his bong, I'm controlling his tan, and I've brought my bong over him and struck him with it, which is not favorable. But how do you know it's coming? What do you do about it? Well, as long as I'm here, I can't bring the bong over him. I'm too far away. I'm not in striking range. Here's the trick. Now I'm in striking range. It looks like I've collapsed. We're taught not to collapse, but this is not really the same thing as an improper Chokyo collapse. I'm absolutely in control. I'm doing this intentionally, and I've collapsed to get close enough to come over. I'm in striking range, and I can use this against him. Whereas again, if he just drove me from a tan up into a bong, if he controlled it, I might not hit him in the face, but it's still a bad move. So always, whether you're going from a tan to a bong, whether you're going to a tan, always go to that Bill Sao hand so that you don't get struck in the forehead. Never to a bong from a tan when you're defending against a strike. You can go to a bong plenty when you're playing Chi Sao, but that's not the same as when someone's stepping into the striking range and then you go to the bong and drive it up in your face. You don't do that. So he goes to a Bill Sao hand, and the same thing is if he's in the bong and I'm collapsing here, he needs to take action. This is an attack. Boom. It's an attack, one way or the other. His tan is no longer effective on this side during this attack, so he could always bring that back into a Bill Sao hand. Whether he's comfortable with it or not doesn't matter. He stopped me. And when you have a bong, be very careful when somebody comes up on you, and I might even do this. But you can't let it. So if I have a bong and he tries to collapse it and then he wants to come over me like that, there's where I need to be. And my hand over here is not going to sleep. I still have my jut on his TSUN, I've collapsed his TSUN, and I still use my arm to control his TSUN as I come in. I don't go like this, jut, strike, because he may come back and take control of his hand again from another Bilsao backing up hand or striking hand, either way. So I have to control this as I come in. So we covered a lot of things there, but mainly what we're covering is never, when he comes into striking range, never go to a Bong. You can't use that as a defense. That's for playing Chisao. It has its own uses. We use it in Chisao that way for training. We're not trying to train to drive it up into our own. Even if I drive it up high, go ahead and punch. If I'm lucky, you know, oh, that's it. So what I want to do is simple, almost the same thing, except it's a Bilsao here. And then I'll strike, and I have to control this hand too. And the other one is, again, if I'm in a Bong and he collapses toward me, that's a strike. So here I am. I'm turning kind of toward a Bilsao hand, and I'm going to see if I can get his hand to flex back and strike him that way while I control it with my wrist. I don't want to go like this and then have him control my arm. So you always have to be in control. You always have to use wrist to wrist. You always have to watch distancing. You always and you never. Oh, I'm sorry. That was my girlfriend. Okay, that was fun.